guys, welcome back to a new tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to create 3 realistic materials in Blender. So as the other one, we're going to be doing the same thing except different materials. So the first one will be cloth, the second one will be asphalt, and the next one after that will be fur. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So go ahead and open up a new scene with the same setup as last time. Create a new material on your first little ball there. And this is going to be the cloth. Okay, I'll put all of the textures down in the description. Again, it's all from Episcura. Okay, so create that, or open up the node editor, and go ahead and drag this out and create a mix shader. After that, create a glossy shader. Once you've done that, add an image texture. Go. And then duplicate that one and change it to non-color data. And then create a normal map node. Pull the color of the image texture into that color, the normal map color. And then pull both of those to the diffuse and the glossy normal map. Alright. So we'll mess around with the strength of this in a minute. Let's go ahead and assign the textures. So open the first one up. This one is cloth. The second one is not asphalt, it's cloth, normal map. Okay, so we need to basically see how much we need on this. So cloth isn't that bumpy, let's just say. So we don't need too much on this. There we go. And the roughness needs to be a little higher, and then we need to add a Fresnel node to this. As you guys can see, I love the Fresnel node. It's awesome. Okay, so that is the cloth. Let's go ahead and render that out and see how it looks. So far, as you can see, while it is rendering, we need more normal map. It looks pretty flat right there. So let's go ahead and change that in the node editor and give it a good bit more normal. Let me go about there would work. Let's go ahead and try rendering that one more time. So as you can see, it looks like there's a good bit of bump to this. We can see each crease more, and it looks a lot better. And that is it for the cloth. Let's go ahead and move on to the asphalt. So select your asphalt sphere there, and give it a new material named asphalt. There we go. Go ahead to the node editor. And this is basically going to be the same material except a good bit different. So basically do the same things. The mix shader, the Fresnel. Actually, instead of the Fresnel, let's not use that. Let's go ahead and add a glossy. Drag the BSDF into the mix shader, the bottom node of that. And we're going to have to do a couple of things here. We're going to have to do the normal map, 1, and 2, we have to create some noise between the asphalt main color and another color. So basically we're going to be mixing it with a noise texture over here so that we can create some variant in color. Alright, let's go ahead and do that. So mix RGB, the bottom color is going to be darker. There we go. And we want a noise texture in the factor. Duplicate this image texture, change it to non-color data, add the normal map node again, pull the color of the image texture into the color of the normal map, there we go, and drag the normal into both of these slots of the glossy and the diffuse. Alright, after that, create another noise texture, and pull it into the factor of the very first mix shader. Okay. Now that you've done that, we are pretty much finished, other than maybe giving a little bit more roughness to the glossy. There we go. Let's go ahead and assign these textures. Okay, so now that that is done, you can mess around a little bit more with the normal map. I'm going to create this strand maybe a little less, because as you can see over here, it's pretty crazy. We want it to be a good bit crazy though, so 0.7 ought to do it. Let's go ahead and render this. And of course, we need to change where it's rendering. So for those who don't know, if you press Shift to B, you can change the size of the render. So I'm going to only render that. So Shift B. There we go. So I want to only render the asphalt here. And that is the asphalt. So it looks really good. As you can see right here, it looks like somebody like tore a piece up and replaced it with new asphalt or old asphalt. It looks really cool. You can see you have some little scratches in it already with the texture. Alright, so let's move on to the next one. This one's going to be fur, and this one's a little bit different because we're not only going to be making the material, we're going to be making the particle system too. So if I create a new material, name it fur, go into the particle system over here, the particle tab, click new, change the type to hair, click advanced, change the hair length to be a little bit less, probably around there. After that, change the emission amount, so how many you have. Actually, before we do that, go under render, and you can change a couple of things over here, not render by the way, physics. Change Brownian to be about 0.02, and make it a little random. There we go. Awesome. Under children, click simple, and that is the fur right there. That's the fur particle system. Let's go ahead and create the material for this. So this is the one that's going to be a good bit different. It's going to be a lot shorter though. So just make a mix shader and a glossy shader. Drag them both in. And this time what you're going to do, instead of doing this, you're just going to set the roughness up to where it looks better. And there we go. About there, I'd say. Right there. Okay. Now what you're going to need to do is add a ramp, a color ramp. Take the color of that, put it in the color of the diffuse. Now change the colors of this. So the first one's going to be light brown, so very light brown there. Very light brown. There we go. Create another one. In the middle it's going to be darker, and then the last one is going to be very dark. So just a dark color there. And now what you're going to want to do is basically take the factor and pull it down to about there. Now, when you render this, you should see a pretty good looking fur material. As you can see, it looks pretty bad, and the hair system, particle system looks pretty bad too. So what we're going to do is lighten this up a little bit. There we go, lighten it up. Just because it makes it look a little bit better. Go into the particle system. Under cycle tear rendering, change it to be ribbons instead. Change the shape to be, let's say, around 0.03. Change the tip. Don't close the tip, and the scaling needs to go up too. Alright, so once you've done that, once you render it again, it should look a lot better. And that is it, how to make cloth, asphalt, and fur in Blender 3D. So this is the fur result, by the way. It looks pretty cool. This is the asphalt, and this is the cloth. By the way, all the links to everything will be in the description. And yeah, so I hope to see you guys in the next tutorial. Bye-bye. Alright, that worked.